Well, good morning. All right, so I feel like I'm a little behind on my Business Tip Tuesday. I missed last week and I'm so sorry about that, but here I am with our Business Tip Tuesday this week, and it's actually one, and I'm looking down because I'm actually looking at all of these books, because the one thing that people will ask me all of the time through my Instagram messages, through private message, anytime I post a picture of something that I'm doing, people will say, what are you reading? What book are you reading? I need a new personal development recommendation. Can you give me your favorite personal development books that you find are most valuable? And so for me, I used to kind of tell people whatever I was reading at that given moment. But the more I think about it and the more that I've kind of let it settle, I find that personal development is an individual thing. It's sort of one of those things where, personal development isn't just about checking it off the box and kind of giving yourself a pat on the back and saying, yeah, I'm pouring into myself, I'm doing my personal development. But it's actually looking at your life, looking at who you are, what your struggles are, what the obstacles, whether it's mindset, belief, or motivation, or time management, leadership, working with people, building a team, growing a network. Like, there's all these skills and areas that we can focus on when it comes to personal development. And so I've read a lot of books. As I kind of pull them out and sit them on my desk, I think to myself, I've read a lot of books that have served a purpose at a certain time in my life. So if you're looking for personal development recommendations, I suggest that you lead with what the need is. So if you need something on confidence, you say that. I need a book on confidence, or I need a book on time management, or I need a book on leadership, or I need a book on creativity and organization, because then that allows you to kind of fine tune and read the right things. The second thing is, it's okay to read a book and say, okay, I'm in the first few chapters and this is not serving me. This is not filling my cup in a way that needs to be filled right now. And it's okay to kind of put it aside until it actually is going to serve the purpose that it's supposed to serve, right? And so I want to just say, don't always feel like you have to be reading the book that everybody else is reading, the book that every other leader is tagging on social media. Because if it doesn't have a service, like a need in your heart right now, and it's not striking a chord with you, then it's not going to help you grow. And your personal development is there to help you grow in leadership, right? So let's kind of walk through what are some of the things that I love as far as personal development goes. So when I first started my business, the very first personal development book that I read was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olsen. I probably should have organized these in a little bit. It's actually at the very bottom of the pile, of course. But this was the first book that I ever read. Love it because when we think about business, being successful is about discipline and consistency, obviously passion and belief. But if you have passion and belief, but you're not disciplined to get the right activities done, then you aren't actually having a return on your investment. You're just walking through life super excited and super passionate, but it's not really doing anything for you. So I love The Slight Edge. It taught my brain how to think in a very strategic way. The book that I have every new coach coming into my organization read is The Compound Effect by Darren. It's kind of similar to The Slight Edge, but it talks about the compounding effect. And so every new business owner should always read this book. Now, some of the other things, like some of the books that I haven't talked about in quite some time. So I was the girl that never ever took the time to ask myself what I wanted in life. And so this book, when Chalene Johnson released Push, it was like everything I ever needed at that moment. It helped me set goals. It helped me ask what my top priorities were. It helped me get a handle on my vision and where I wanted to go. And then it helped me get that organized. Love her Push book. It is definitely one of those things that I have used, and I have absolutely outlined and underlined. I even used this in some of my accountability and support groups, right? Now, let's talk about kind of like this mindset piece, right? So everybody always gets, it's the confidence, it's the motivation, and obviously some of my favorites, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. It's a really great book. If you just need somebody to speak truth into you and tell you you're worthy of success, this girl, wash your face. I Am That Girl is another really good one. Girl Code is another really great book that I absolutely loved. If you are somebody that is not very optimistic, or you have a team that isn't very positive and you're like, I need to try to shift the way that I think, the way I do things, this book, The Energy Bus by John Gordon, awesome book. It talks about how the way you talk to people, the way you approach people, your own energy actually ripples into your organization. And I had a coach last week, we were having this discussion and she was like, my challenge groups are sucking, my team page is quiet, like nothing is going well and I just don't know what I want. And I was like, well, are you bringing the energy in your groups? Like, are you going into your accountability groups and like on fire and so excited about it? And she's like, no. I go, well, are you excited in your team page? Are you bringing new ideas and new energy and excitement? And she's like, no. That's just it. Your energy is contagious and people will follow you if you are inspiring and engaging and coming up with new ideas and you're creative. Like, people want to be a part of somebody that's moving forward. They don't want to be a part of somebody that is dragging them down and their energy is draining. So if that is you, or you find yourself complaining all the time, this would be a great book to pick up and read. Okay, so now I'm sort of into the part where, okay, I'm getting this business going and I need to know how to deal with people, because dealing with people is a big part of what we do. People Follow You by Jed Blount was one of the very first books that I read. This helped me to learn that it's not about me. I need my team more than they actually need me. And so how do I work with people? And I'm a red personality. I tend to take charge. I tend to be a little bit domineering. So that means that I had to learn to kind of take a back seat, to kind of listen. It meant that I had to work on a lot of skills and I wanted to have a successful team and I wanted other people to have a voice. And so I learned to keep my mouth shut and I learned to listen and I learned to ask better questions. And this book was one of the ones that helped me. Leaders Eat Last is another one. I know that there are people out there that have a boss or an upline or a sponsor that just overbearing, over controlling, micromanaging, and it makes for a miserable experience, right? And so, as a leader, it's important for you to be aware of yourself and when those things might be creeping into your life. Another thing is Entree Leadership, another book, right? So leadership is obviously a big thing for me now. I love this 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It even comes with a workbook that you can actually do with your team, which I think is awesome. This one's just on growth. Anything John Maxwell is going to be worth your time, right? John Maxwell, if you want to know how to grow, this is it. You got to read this book. Morning routine. Those of you that are like, how do I stay motivated? Miracle Morning. Read it, implement it, will change your life, but you have to practice it. You can't just read the book. You actually have to do the activities in there. Those of you that struggle with your why, Find Your Why by Simon Sinek. Great workbook, great activities, really helps you identify your purpose, your passion. There are so many of you that are like, I want to be a coach. I don't know my why. So this can kind of help you out with that part too. All right. So I want to wrap this up because I don't want to take too long on here. But those of you that are goal setting, fourth quarter, 12-week year, great book. Look, you can see this bad boy has been well loved. I use this book all the time when it comes to setting goals, especially at the end of the year. This is a great one to read, reread it. Again, I read it every single November, December as I'm setting my goals, and the 12-week year helps you kind of strategically put that into place. This is one of my new favorites. It's called Humble, Hungry, and Hustle by Brad Lomenick. Highly encourage this. This would be for leaders that or people that are feeling a little burnt out. This can definitely help you. Sorry, things are falling on the floor here. All right. And then last but not least, for those of you that struggle with just staying motivated or taking action, Mel Robbins, 5-second rule. Friends, you got to learn to take control of the outcome. If you want a different life, if you want a different outcome, if you want to be successful at whatever you have your heart set on, you have to take action. And the best way to do it is to not think about it, to not overthink it, is to just do it. And if you implement what Mel Robbins teaches you in this book, and you do it, you're going to change your life. And over time, over series of 5-second rolling your life, you will create momentum and you will create success that you desire. So I do hope that this was helpful for you guys. I know I've done some live videos like this before, but I want to leave you with this. Remember, do books that serve you, not what is serving everybody else out there. Listen to Audible if you learn better through audio versus reading. YouTube videos, podcasts. Like, you have to serve you first. If you want to serve others, it starts with serving yourself. All right? So, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, but thanks so much for tuning in today. I do kind of have a feeling that maybe my chat isn't working because I haven't seen a thing below. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys next week for Business Tip Tuesday. And don't forget to check out the podcast this week because I've got a really cool interview that I know you guys are going to love and get so much value out of. All right, see you guys later. Bye, guys.